the city of mine. It never gets me down, city of mine. How I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is a city I met all my best friends. And I wanna thank every brick, I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we roll up a blunt. And me and Jack would get stoney, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down, city of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. What people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down, city of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going all night, dancing around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block. Like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down, city of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am dying right now because of Rob, jackass. That was just freaking, that's just freaking funny. I'm trying to like maintain a certain level of composure, but Rob over here cracking on the fact it took me 6 months to paint one wall. Guess what, gang? The other 3 is still not painted. Yes, it's coming. I know, because my desk is built now. I have no excuse. Anyway, family. Hey, what's up, Preston? So I thought you guys was at the beach. I thought you guys was chilling. I know that Kevin Cox is on vacation this week, but I see a lot of our family members here. I see that Elaine and Michelle done woke up Valerie, told her bring her ass to class. So welcome, Valerie. Good to see you here. I'm gonna throw Valerie under the bus ASAP. Like, get out of here. And Mr. Camera Junkie is here. Dang. Yes. What's up, man? I'm sorry. Rob broke my face today. Now I can't even think. What's up, Gigi? What it do? Beef stew. And we got Anna Heel is in here. Laney is in the builds. What's happening? FJ Cruiser is here. Oh, Paul Duncan done changed his name to The Paul Duncan. Almost messed me up. But Paul Duncan, welcome to the Mechanics Club. Mr. Riley's World. What it do? Good to see you here. And let's see, we got everybody. Oh, Mr. Worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. A line is here all the way from Japan. Dang, everybody's there. Todd Killian, what it do, my friend? Good to see you here. Used to make really good beer back in the day, just so you know. And Sylvia done came back home from the beach and jumped up onto the stream. Tommy is in the building. What's up, family? And I think we covered everybody except for Greg. Greg is here, and Andrew is in there. Mr. Jim is here. Yes, dude, I was just telling Michelle on the way to the studio, I had to walk the long way around because it was pouring down. Like somebody just unzipped the sky. What's up, Mr. Coffee Talking Tech? Good to see you here. All right, family, let's go. Uncle George Killian. Yes. Is that okay? I had to check your icon to see if you had a little Killian beer thing in the bottom. Oh, man. Mr. Albert, good to see you here, man. I used to go to the Cotton Club beverage store at the corner of my grandmother's house on East 147th Street, right across from the Lawsons when I was a little bitty children. I spent every summer in Cleveland, about 3 blocks away from Kennedy High School. So there's that. Peter, what's up? Peter's here. Peter, are you hungry? He got jokes. All right, gang, we're going to get into it. I brought a few friends along, and next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song. Sorry, you guys know I got musical Tourette's. Today is going to be dope. I brought my homie Michelle from LBC Branding. We're going to talk about all myriad types of things. First of all, just want to let you know, like, there's so many crazy questions about branding, and it is unfortunately one of those things that not a lot of people really grok, right? I struggled with it until about maybe 2 years ago. We've said it a lot. You know, it's the brand, be the brand, do this, do that. People talk about it all the time, but it's just one of those things that I think it requires lots of conversations around it because it is still somewhat nebulous to folks. But to us old school people, think of it as your reputation, so to speak. I guess that's part of it to me. That's the way I see it. But we're going to have another dope conversation. So without further ado, all the way from Hotlanta, give it up to Michelle from LBC Branding.
What's up, family? Okay, now this is how you do it. Okay? That's how you do it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Exactly. That's
L-Dub, you late
how
for
you do
class,
it.
you get the erasers. What's up, Mark? Good to see you here. You lucky, Corey and Elmarie, you got slid in right before L-Dub, so she got eraser duty this week. Boom, start clapping erasers, L-Dub. Good to see you here, Ma. All right, now. Wait, I thought when I was here, I had it right here on my desk to be ready.
No, see, look, you gotta, look, this how you do it. Okay, look.
Mine is
So
stiff Japanese paper. It don't do all of that.
Well, okay, look. So I got one for you, though. Man. Okay.
She be ready. She ready.
I stay ready. Yeah, I stay ready, boo. I stay ready. Okay.
Okay,
Don't
Tommy is deaf. He said Michelle cranked the volume up just a wee taste.
Ooh, how about that?
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
But
Say,
see,
catch
now
me
y'all ain't
outside,
gonna be
Tommy.
able to
How about that?
Y'all ain't gonna be able to handle this fan because y'all know I'm extra.
Okay.
Stop it.
Man,
Stop
so one of the things that you said when we was catching up before everything is good, is that branding is not easy. I agree with you, but I want to know why you say that.
Why I say, well, the struggle. The struggle is real. So it's just one of those things where, people, you always, I don't know about you, but, people always have this idea like, oh, you got to have this color scheme, you got to do this, you got to do that, and all of that. Branding is all about you figuring out your own mess. Like seriously. I mean, that is it, period, right? You figuring out who you are and how then you could relay who you are to everyone, period.
Yes. You know what's funny is it always goes to like logo, color scheme, fonts, and stuff like that. that's business identity, right? That's just corporate
Right.
identity or business identity or whatever you want to call it. Now,
Very that.
people do say that's part of branding, and I guess it is because we all know the three stripes when we see them from a mile away. It's just a
Right.
thing. I have an entire closet full of it. It's on my legs and my feet right now. It's always surrounded by such.
Right.
But prior to when they got started, to become of a level like that, nobody knew that's what those things were. Nobody knew what the three stripes represented. Hell, most people still to this day do not know that Rudy and Adi were brothers, and Adidas and Puma, their family fight. That's how we got Adidas and Puma. Like Adi Dassler, Adidas. Their last name is
right.
Dassler. So
Right.
his first name is Adolf, but growing up at the time he grew up, he was never going to go by Adolf. It's Adolphus actually. So he went by Adi. And so when he made his shoes, at first they had the Dassler's brothers shoes, and then he made his shoes and it became Adidas. And then the brother was like, the hell with you, I hate you, get out my face. He went to go start his own company, and then he came up with Puma. But when they originally started, it was the Dassler Brothers Shoe Company. Most people to this day still don't know that Adidas and Puma was started by brothers in a fight.
And they're related.
And they're related, yeah.
And they keeping all that money in the family.
Holla. Holla. Yes. All right.
Right. So, but I mean, yeah, you know, the brand identity thing is important. You know, you get to that, but if you don't know who you are, if you don't know how to relay who you are, or even the fact that, you know, you have, you know, you feuding, you know, you beefing with your brother, and so now, you know, hey, we Puma out here, or hey, we Adidas out here. You know what? Who knew that? Who really knew all of the juice behind all of that, right? So, you know, that's part of your brand identity. But,
Yes.
you know, at the same time, you know, figuring out your own mess, you know, is at the core of all of this. Figuring out what your values are, figuring out, you know, who you are and what type of product or person or mission you want to, you know, put out there. So, you know, that's
It's
part
super
of it.
crazy. Greg, since you're here, if you ever been to Portland and you get to go to Adidas headquarters, man, it is dope. And what's cool is if you can get into the store, you get everything at 50% off. Just throwing it out there for anybody. Bucha lives there. She should be up in the Adidas corporate store on the regular, but she probably be in Beaverton at Nike.
Well, you know, I don't know if y'all noticed, but yeah, it's leopard for me.
There you go. There you go.
It's a leopard for me. I don't
And
know
Mr.
what-
Raleigh,
I don't
you
know.
know what, fam? That's exactly where it started for me. It started for me all the way back with my Adidas. So, yes, that's exactly where it started for me in my shell toe game back in the day. No, Rob, you can get Adidas. You don't have to wear the New Balance if you don't wish to, although that's cool. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Adidas was his client. That's cool. That's dope. So you mentioned something real quick, like, and that is about your value, right? I talk to folks about value proposition. I don't know if it's one of those buzzwords I should stop saying to folks, or like, you know, do people really get what it means? What is your take on value proposition?
So, what a value proposition is basically, well, there's a formula for it, first of all. And
Everybody
it's-
write this down. We're going to be a test after this.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now I want my slides. Now I want my slides. Oh my goodness. But no,
Of course we
there's a
had
formula
starter
for it.
jackets in Hawaii. What are you talking about? Sorry.
No, but seriously, there's a formula. So basically, it's your value proposition is, I help X, whatever X is, whoever your ideal client is, to do Y, so that, and fill in the blank. That is your value proposition. So if you know A, what you do, what's your superpower, B, what is the transformation that your ideal client will have, and well, superpower, ideal client, and what is the transformation that they will have. And so that right there is your value proposition. So if you keep that at the core of everything that you do, it's always about the why. It's like, okay, so why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? It's so that whoever it is that you're serving will have the desired transformation that you want them to have. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what a value proposition is.
A line Digital Glow said, "You're speaking my language, algebra."
Well, see.
It is
all
algebra.
right.
That's the formula, right?
There you go.
All
That's
right,
the formula.
All right. So I help content creators to tell their stories better with videos so that they can expand their reach. That's basically it. So yeah, that's dope. I mean, and everybody can do this. I think people get stuck in there doing this because I think for a lot of folks, they're stuck at I help because they haven't identified their audience. Last week when we was with Nikki, right? Nikki was saying that, you got to know who your customers be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's just it is what it does, but there you go, Tommy. Yeah, I think people still got to spend a lot of time to sit down and figure out exactly who that potential customer is. I still think that most businesses eat it because they haven't figured out who their customer is, because they think their customer is still everybody. And the first slap in the face is you ain't for everybody. Rich brought this up last week. Right? You are not for everybody. It is
That is
crazy.
so true. That is so true. Because if you trying to be the dragnet, you ain't gonna catch nothing. Okay, I'm just saying. You have to be so specific. You have to be so specific. And it's funny. Each coach that I've ever had, helped me drill this down. And it's funny. Thinking about going through my branding story, each coach said, okay, tell me, what is your superpower? What do you do? Now that you know what you do, who are you talking to? Give me their name. I want to know what she doing on Saturday. How does she spend her day? It's a she, because I know my ideal clients are female entrepreneurs between the ages of 20 and 65 plus. I already know that. I have all this stuff written out. But for every single one of my coaches, that was part of the homework. And it's like, well, dang, I can't even start thinking about my colors, doing on all this other stuff until I kind of figure that stuff out. And so it was just a part of what I had to do to try to figure that out and figure out who I was talking to. So, one of the things that's been new to me recently, it may not be new to some of you, but it was new to me recently, is that I've been in sales for over 20 something years, right? Selling a tangible product. And the tangible product already had a brand of its own. As a matter of fact, you couldn't touch their branding because everything was trademarked. And there was thousands of us doing the same thing. So how, in God's name, am I going to make me doing what everybody else is doing different?
Have you yourself ever been to a MLM conference for one of the things?
Always. I went every single year for 20 something years with one company and now with another. Yes.
Okay. So when you go to one of those and you see the insert word here, I'm going to just use diamonds because it's the most common thing that folks use, which never made no sense, okay? Because here's where, if you really take what they say, they stupid. Because you're going to go from you would be what is it? Emerald to ruby to diamond to double diamond to platinum.
So funny.
How the hell you go from diamond to platinum? You cannot just go from gemology to metallurgy, you jack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, anyway. Yes. But what you always noticed, whoever was sitting up in the double whatever territory, whether it was double gopher, whatever it was, they all had a very specific way. They had a very specific brand. Even within the company, when I was with Arbonne, right, our move was the white BMWs, right? When you got the white BMW, you had made it, you know, to like this tier where you was, you know, doing your thing, right? And
We were
it's
pink
always
Cadillacs. I got you.
you had pink Cadillac, Mary Kay.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Hey, MK all day. Hey, that's what my grandma used to throw those gang signs. MK. You know, she be in church. She be in church. Everybody line up to get their little sachet or whatever the heck she had for them. You know, so hey, that was life. So I grew up around it. I grew up around Shackley, MK, and Avon. So like even for them, oh, what you know about game, Rich? What you know about rolling down in the Sorry. Yes. Arbonne was life. Man, I tell you what, Mary Kay was so dope that they made Aretha write a song about it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying.
Oh my
I'm
goodness!
saying.
When I won my first car, oh look, girl, it was amazing.
Right.
It was amazing. But I see where you're going with this, because yeah, you're right, because you know you're in a we would go to convention, and convention they were like, you know, back before went back in my day when we used to go with the you know all of the groups were together, and so each group brought like about, I don't know, 20,000, 30,000 people, right? We were one big group, and then the groups got so big that we had to break them up into the gyms. We had to break up the conventions into the gyms and all that stuff. But then, yeah, you're there. There's 50,000 other women that look just like, you know, dressed the same way. You know, we were the best dressed. Period. I'm just saying.
But that's
anyway,
the branding right there too. When you got everybody in that. Oh, man.
Exactly.
You know what's funny to me? The amount of folks that struggle with branding that will spend a modicum of time in the stadium watching something. And they're like, man, I don't understand all this branding stuff. Fool, you wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt, you Jack Weaver. What the hell you mean you don't understand branding? I done seen your house. It's on your car. It's on your, I'm talking to you, Rich. It's on your car. It's on your coffee mug. It's on your drawers. It's on your PJs. You probably got a little blanket somewhere for when it get cold. You got house slippers. You know, you got flags in your garage. You know, you done start dressing your small children in it. You buy, you know what I'm saying? So like everybody technically knows. They just don't know they know. In my head. Again, I could be crazy.
It's so subliminal. It's so subliminal that it becomes a part of you. But then if you flip that on its head, who is it?
It's still you. It's still you.
It's still you.
And the vibes, the brands that we tend to ride hard with, no matter what it is, whether it be your Sony, whether it be your Shure, your Rode, your Nike, your Adidas, your Ford, Chevy, BMW, your, you know, Maker's Mark versus Jack Daniels versus Budweiser, Miller Lite, Limon, whatever the hell you into, it is something about that makes a connection to you. Now, for some of the things that are edible or drinkable, it is straight up taste, but some of them is about lifestyle, right? Like me personally, I don't drink much under 12 years old because I have the lifestyle of whiskey snob, right? So,
well, yeah, and that's another thing too. Brand could be status as well. So, you know, 100%. It's like, right, you know, you're not buying a Rolex just because it tell time. No, you buying the status. It's like, all right, you got a Rolex, and it's like, oh, you rolling like that. Oh, okay. You don't buy a Lambo just because, oh, it's a really great economical car. No, not that I have one, but it's for status. You can buy status as well. So, you know, it depends on what it is. What is your value prop? What are you trying to convey? You know
what's funny
when
you say that is sorry, James made me laugh. Not grandma throwing up signs. Sorry, James. Sorry, I forgot he live in LA. So hey, I like what the line says about you define your value. I mean, wait, your clients define value, you define price. I do love this sentiment. And so here's the funny thing for me. When I was a little kid, because I was coming from the hood, I always looked at growing up to get enough money to buy a BMW thing was a status. As I got closer to that point, I had started to love enough about studying cars to learn about what their engineering game was actually about. To learn that it was, for some people, it was literally about status. For others, they did it, but they did this smartly. Because right at the time where I was getting old enough to do something, they were doing this campaign about the ultimate driving machine. Right? And then they would break down the things that they did technologically that actually make them superior brand. Then once you get one and you feel the technology in it, absolutely love it. Like it rides like nothing other. When you shut the doors make a nice sound. Like you don't have it. It doesn't sound like it's going to fall off the hinge when somebody slams it. When people attempt to slam it, the springs actually slow it down and it goes tukum. Like it's hard to slam. Anybody that has one knows it's hard to slam the door on the Beamer because it's still quiet, right? It doesn't have that. When she get out the car, she be like, "What you did?" It goes tukum, and I'm like, ha, because you can't slam it. It just doesn't do that, right? Here's the crazy stuff. When you get in, right, you start to drive, it doesn't make any noise. You give it a couple of seconds, and it has a nice calming, ding. Hey, player, put your seatbelt on. But some of the other brands, you get it, it's like, ding, 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 ding. It's super obnoxious.
Right.
BMW yells at you politely, still irritating, but it's to remind you to put it on, but it does it in a manner that's the thing. So one day I'm just watching TV randomly and I seen the guy who came up with the sound. Homie said he tested 2,800 sounds to find the perfect polyphony of a middle C that will alert you, but not scare you, but remind you, not freak you out, not piss you off. I wanted to comfortably tap you on it. Put your seatbelt on, fool.
That is amazing.
When I heard that, I'm like, brand for life. Like I knew because it had an Apple level of how you think it through. You see what I'm saying? But now I'd be lying if I'm frying if I didn't say because of the original status thing about it, definitely have had people stop me in the parking lot and be like, "Yo, dude, nice ride," blah blah blah. And you lying if you say that doesn't catch. I always say for me, it's about the engineering, it's about the customer support, it's about the thought to the small details that they do. But trust me, the rollover in the parking lot be like, damn, what the hell is that? Oh, man, I never seen one like that. You got the little special Mugen package. Mugen package, what that is? It's dropped a little lower, a little bit wider, make that when you take off, Oh, and it's electric. It's electric? Oh, snap. Come on. So you'd be lying if you say that didn't matter as well. It wouldn't. So, yeah.
Was that a small flex? Was you throwing some shade?
No, honestly, I really do just love it. That's the funny thing about it. And I think the other thing that's more impressive to most folks, a Ford F-150 costs more, right? Like a lot of things that people buy that they cost more. But the status that was built, I guess, back in the day has people believing that, certain things are more or less, right? But a fully loaded Tacoma costs about the same.
But that's going into the brand philosophy, right? You getting into like, yes, you liked it for one reason, but then you really became a raving fan of whatever it was because of all of the reasons, all of those things that you just talked about that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ride or die. I got, they got my money. Every time a new one come out, take my money because they, that's about their brand philosophy. They were able to identify what it is that they had and really focus on what it is that, why would you stick with them? Why would you stay with them? Because that they will take care of you. Now the story behind, that sound that you hear every single time you start driving and you don't put your seatbelt on. Now you know the story behind it. It's about the story. It's about your brand story too. There's so many facets of this. There's so many facets of it. And it all starts with you. But at the same time, it's about your story. It's about, what's your superpower. It's about what the transformation that your client would have when they experience your product or whatever it is. Let's say, for instance, you're not let's say you're not a thing. Let's say you're a business professional or a medical professional, because that's another thing that I am. There's that. How would your patients, if you were a medical professional, how would your patients feel after being around you for a while? Or what type of feeling do you get once you've experienced that person, and what lingers, what stays behind. There's so many layers to it. And I'm glad we're having this conversation, because it's something that we need to always be growing, always be moving the needle forward, so that that people will really get to know who you are, and to get to know what it is that you want to what do you want to show, what do you want to do, and just being with your raving fans, letting them know how you feel and all that good stuff. It's about how people feel when they experience you and experience 100%. Your product.
Laura, you just had me laugh right now, because there's not a person in here who reads this right now that just doesn't go dung dung. Not a single one.
That part.
That's super funny. That is super funny. Okay, so you said there's a dirty little secret that nobody talks about. What it is? We about to get the secret.
The dirty little secret is what we've been talking about. That's what branding is, right? It's not about the colors. It's about really about getting to know who you are. So here's my story. Okay. Back in the day, when I was one of those many people in an MLM, multi-level marketing company, and it's like, oh my God, it's like, oh, I'm a clone of 50 other women in here doing exactly the same thing. Right. And I'm like, I get it. I have to do what the company wants me to do. The company wants us to do it this way, and this is how they want us to do it. And then, with every other company you're ever with, they all tell you the same thing. This is how you move up the ladder. This is how you do all the things or whatever. But then you meet customers who've experienced your product, and they're like, yeah, I had one of those. I'm like, yeah, you may have had one of those, but you never had one with me. You don't know anything about me. So then I was like, wait a minute. I have to figure out a way to make this not about the experience of the product. It has to be the experience between me and my customer. And then it took me a minute. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got to figure this out. So then back then I created this leopard lady persona, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I was doing, the marketing that I was doing, or whether I was, a business professional like I have, or a medical professional, because I'm also a nurse. My day job is a nurse. Everyone knew me as the leopard lady, and it's like, oh Lord, here she come. But they knew by this print. When they saw it, they're like, Michelle's been here, hasn't she? And then my reputation now, went before me, and to the point where it's like, oh, wait, I really had a lot of fun when I was with her. She's so funny, or she did this differently, or she did whatever. You know what? I forget all of you people. I would stay with her because, she does it this way. So it was me figuring out my own stuff, right? And that's part of how this all came about. It was me figuring out that it's not about the people. It's about me. It's about me trying to figure out who I am and what makes me memorable to someone else.
What's funny is, I don't think people think about this, but even when you work in a crowded environment, right? You do things, whether you know it or not, to set your brand up. Even if you don't do them intentionally, people know that one guy at that one cubicle where everything is measured on his desk. to mess
Are you
with.
talking about you now?
Shut up, Michelle. to mess
all
with
good.
you, they move your stapler to the other side. And then you'd be like, excuse me, did anybody see my stapler? It was a red swing line. Yes. So even that's why I told people in the comments, I'm like, yo, put an example of like how folks stand out in a thing. So you would be known, say all of us, say the whole LGO family, we all worked at AT&T in the call center. Michelle's joint would be leoparded up, right? Mine would be Manchestered up, and my desk will be measured. You know what I'm saying? Miss D will have that freaking 2-quart chef cup that she drink out of. that is literally just a takeout container, but she'll have it somewhere. You know, on show days she bring the real one, but on her regular day she got the chef joint that you see in all. You see Gordon Ramsay, all of them. They bought up that little plastic thing. They be like, "Yep." Miss D got one on deck. She's like, "I'm gonna stay hydrated." It is what it is, right? So even like Aline said, even as she said, in classrooms, right? We had the one teacher in every school that was the Christmas nut. Like
Yes.
you roll from October 32nd, you roll in her class is red and green or silver and gold or whatever she picked until January. That classroom was Christmas out. She got that. I'm telling you, October 32nd, hat come on, ball to the side, and everything. Happy holidays. And you exciting, but sit your ass over there. Like everybody had that one person. So I don't think people realize that even in the smallest space, like you have your brand. We can identify the brands from church.
Yes.
We can identify, as I call Clavel, the dude that came to church with the bright colored suits, patent leather, suit matched the Seville. He had the Seville with the
Cadillac
brome.
is out in the, yes.
Right?
Yes.
The brome. If you guys are unfamiliar with the brome, that's where his car roof matched his head. Like the leather is in the last 3 sections, and homeboy hairline start right here like Keith, and then go back. That's what was a Cadillac brome, right? That was when you saw half a leather top, right? Everybody had a Clavel in their church. Everybody.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's a thing, man. There are certain brand things, right? There's the one sister that for some reason, how is she the only one that get the ghost every time speaking in tongues?
Oh my goodness. We had one lady who she would get to running. We had a runner. And then it doesn't matter what it is, boom, she started running. We had a runner. She was the runner. Then we had another one who, she was the flag lady. She'd be in the corner, and then flags start flying everywhere. What is it you want to be known for?
Right? And so, I mean, you talk about an excellent brand. There's nobody in the room that don't know about Tom and his puns.
True.
Right? That's branding. Right? And everyone says, oh, well, maybe he's the road guy. No, because road won't always be around. Tom's puns will be around. Dad jokes with no kids will be around for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? Even when we had the couples after dark and we were all trying to be Tom and then trying to get our puns out. Like, yo, that was a real deal Holyfield, man. Like, that was a thing. So people, I guess, like, if you gotta give people steps, I like this, right? Hey, come on, play.
Yes.
Let's go ahead.
Yes. So
Right.
the moral of the story is to just be true to you, boo.
Yes, I like that. I really do like that. What made you decide to get into like coaching the brand stuff?
Because I saw too many people that was just like me trying to figure this thing out. And it's like a lot of people just gave up. So, back in the, in the marketing industry, where everyone's doing the same thing. And it's like, okay, well, you just got to figure out what it is about you that's different. And they're like, well, no, I just can't do it that way. I want to do it this way. Well, do that. If that is who you are, do that. Be true to you, But then that was the reason why I started it, because I was like, you know what? I always stood out because I always did something different. And they were like, well, how are you doing that? And I was like, well, I'm just being me, but okay. Just dig into that. And, everyone always wants to try to follow the leader and to, just kind of like assimilate, which assimilation is great, but, I wish more people would then figure their own mess out, so that they would know how to stand out in a good way.
Damn. It's kind of funny. When you think about it, it's kind of funny. Right? Michelle is the bomb. Caused me to think about who I am in this niche, still in discovery. Hey, the cool thing about being in this discovery mode, Steve, is you could change it on the fly. I think when people are... Okay, check this out, fam. Everybody lean in. If you are still in discovery mode, run tell that.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine. If you are in discovery mode, run tell that. You know why? Because everybody in the comments is still in discovery mode too. So, you're like, gang, I am trying to figure out my brand. So, hey, things are going to change. And it's okay. I'm okay with it. I want you to be okay with it. If you're not, doesn't matter, because I'm going to be true to me. So I'm going to change this a few times until we get it straight. But this is what I'm starting with, and it may evolve over time. Here's the thing. If you're not in discovery mode, you kind of sort of up because you should always be in discovery mode.
Always. Always be getting better. Always.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
Because if you're not growing, if you ain't growing,
you know what I'm saying?
you stand
Some
still.
of us is growing sideways, but that's a different conversation.
It's fine, but you're growing though. It's funny. It's funny because, I've had, like I was telling you earlier, I had like many coaches. And so all these coaches were like, oh man, you're so good at this. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, all right, well, let me figure this out. And then I would grow a little bit more. And, part of my path was meeting people who sell an idea instead of a tangible product. Cause I've always been a person that, sold a tangible product. And I have a specific person to really thank for this, where she introduced me to her coach. And so I had a chance to go to San Diego and meet with her. And, she had like a weekend retreat and she talked about, selling ideas or whatever transformation that each one of these individuals, could do for their clients. And that was a big shift for me because I never really had that. I've always had, okay, well, we're going to sell these shade buttons and they're all the same price and you can't change that. And so, this is what we're going to be doing and this is how you do it. But then that moment when I met with her and met other individuals that did that, that was the biggest mind F that happened in my life. And I was like, wow, wait a minute. This just took me to another place where it's like, oh, wait, so I'm the product. Oh, I had the Kung Fu Panda moment, as one of my other coaches would say. It's like, it's not about them, it's about me. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Let me figure this out. And then slowly but surely, I tried to figure out what my path is and what that person would look like and what's happening with each, in each little step of the way. And, I've been telling this story to a small group of people, but, to other people who are like-minded, just like me, trying to figure this stuff out. And it's great when you go back and look at your videos, because I was doing live streams then. I was doing live streams every week, and you know, it's always great to go back and look at your videos. And I'm sitting there going, man, my stuff was a hot mess, and I'm so glad I'm growing. I'm so glad I'm growing,
It is
because
such a dope feeling, right?
right, it's like, had I not met this person who then put me on to this other person, that my other coach, and then I coached with them for a while. I'm like, oh my God. And then I met this person, and then eventually I met you, you know? And so it's like, so my path, you're on the path for a reason. And each person that you're dealing with, you're on that path for a reason. You're there to grow from them. You're there to learn something. So figure out what it is, learn it, so you don't have to go around the tree again. Around the mountain again, and then keep on moving. And the more you move, the more you grow, the more, you know, it just gets better and better. And it's just, you know, I just absolutely, you know, love my path, even though to me, sometimes I feel like, you know, maybe I could grow faster if I do all these slick things with like Facebook ads and all of these things and all that. But, you know, I've seen so many other people who are so disappointed when they, you know, they bought something and they thought they were going to get something, that they were somebody who knew whatever, but it was somebody who bought a formula and then turned it into whatever, and the person didn't know jack squat about what they were talking about. So, you know, I am loving the journey. I'm enjoying the journey. And so this is my journey into my own self-enlightenment, into branding.
Gangsta! Sing it! Okay, so.
Wait, hold up. There you go.
And so, me and Ms. D was like, yo, we're going to have to try to like reboot the old Sega joint and then turn it into something else. Oh, okay. So here's a good question. Oh, actually, I want to bring this up real fast. L-Dubs, like, this is something that a lot of businesses get wrong, okay? And I'm going to just explain it to you the best way I can from a graphic designer standpoint, but also from a person with a marketing degree. Too many companies get twisted up in their logo, and they think their logo is life. Probably some of
Speak
the
on that.
dopest ways you could shake up a brand, a stale brand or a stagnant brand or whatever, is redo your logo. Because if you did your logo back in 2015 and it's 2021 and you haven't looked at or readjust or think about, should I readjust, or have any conversations around that over the last 6 years, I'm going to just go ahead and call it facts. Yep. No. Because I get it. For a small business perspective, logos can cost some bank, right? I used to charge my clients 10 G's to even touch a logo, right? I was never that $150 logo dude. And they'd be like, 10 grand. I was like, 10 grand is a fraction of what it costs in the real space. Because you're going to make all your money off of this thing. If you notice, some of your favorite companies right now, companies you use on the regular businesse, they have changed their logo within the last 6 years, including Apple. It wasn't that long ago they dropped the rainbow, but don't nobody really know that, right? If you look at an iPhone from 6 years ago, if you remember, all the icons had a skeuomorphic look to them, right? We call it skeuomorphic. It's where it was intending to look like it did in real space. So if you remember the old address book icon, it looked like a leather-bound address book. If you looked at the yellow notepad, it had a bump where the tear-off would be, and it had like little shadows and all of that. You look at your phone now, everything in there is flat icons, right? Everything. Caleb and I actually have cows about the Ecamm Live logo because it's still the old school one and we think it should be flat like the orange one. We like the orange one because it's flat. Because don't nobody in the streets nowadays be with the bumpy shadows and all of that mess in your logo. So if you still rocking bumpy shadows and messing your logo, you kind of also, nobody does that. Nobody does that. So you wouldn't be going backwards by revisiting it. You'd be going forward by revisiting it because things have changed since then. Back in the day, the idea of adding weight and loft and third dimension and whatever to your logo showed money because back in the day, 3D was expensive, right? But then when we realized 3D or dimension doesn't replicate itself well on different substrates. Flat logos always look dope on any substance, right? And we mean by flat is no shadows, no weirdness, no whatever, right?
That goes back to what Bradley talked about in one of his classes. He was saying if something doesn't look good in black and white, color ain't gonna help. So
I always,
right?
because Bradley's a designer too, right? I always send everything to my clients in black and white, and they're like, "Well, can we see what color on it?" No, and they're like, "But you gotta like it in black and white because you will do lots of printing of it in black and white. It needs to hold its ground with black and white, and it needs to be able to hold its ground as a stamp. And all your little 3-dimensional cute shadows and all this other nonsense people used to do, that mess don't hold up." I'm looking around my office trying to find anything in here that has that old kind of logo look to it, and ain't none in here. It don't exist. Because no brands do it anymore. Because brands don't do it. Brands have learnt their lesson. Nobody really does that anymore. So chances are, and it's not that far removed. We're talking, this happened around 2017. So if you, again, like YouTube logo has changed 3 times since 2015. Burger King has changed twice since 2015. Most people don't even know it when it happens because it just happens. I mean, Netflix logo done changed. Like, do some search on that. Like, and I didn't mean to go off on a long rant about that, but if you were camping on a 6-year-old logo, you were probably 308% effing up because that's not reality. It don't work like that. You got to constantly tweak and evolve it, make it so that it matches modern things. The number one reason why a lot of stuff changed is because we have gone to little screen. So a lot of people had to adjust their logos to be seen on little screen instead of everybody being seen on big screen, print, and things like that. A lot of the stuff that came from print, billboards, packaging, and that all went away. Majority of the time, people are going to see your logo is in a little 150 by 150. Now, right now, game recognized game. Go to your, everybody, let's do a thing. Unless you're driving, open up your IG. Okay? And then the quick way to do it is look at the top and scroll right there where you see me, Heather, Owen, like you know who we is right off the bat, right? I'm going to go pick somebody that's doing bad, that's doing horrible in here. All right. This middle one right there, the Hawaii News one that's hard to see, that person's effing up because they trying to be cute. They trying to put like all of the colors and all of the things that they got in their thing. Oh man, see, unfortunately, this doesn't allow you to do the zoom, but they're trying to put like a rock crashing through a badge. A badge is already complicated. They got the badge crawling through a rock, 2 different flags, some shading, all of that other old 1980s airbrush crap in their logo, and it don't show on a tiny little, 150 pixel circle, right? It just don't show. So if you go on your phone right now and just scrub through, you can see the ones that's doing good and you can see the ones that's doing bad, and you already know it. Like, people try to stick their whole family into the avatar because whatever reason, and you can't tell what it is. Like, you got to go like that to double check who it is. So that's all in personal branding. That's all screwing up. Like, when you see the good clear ones, like that little guy right there in the middle, that's dope. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to get an idea, like, look at what your joint look like in a little small 100 pixel circle. If it looks like ass, it's time to step up. And I ain't gonna brag or nothing, but if we go all the way back to the beginning, where your man's is at, there is no future in your fronting. Everybody knows that joint. You see what I mean?
That's really dope, dude. That's really dope.
Like, ain't no future in your fronting. Everybody knows that joint. Like, well, not everybody. It's still a small amount of folks, but you know it right away without even thinking about it. Oh, Doc, what kind of dumb stuff Doc done said now? You know what I'm saying? And that was an accident, straight up. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. That was a pure accident, but you need to know that. Now, real quick, because she asked, a line said, how did you move from just being you to monetizing your skill set? And then hold that thought. And then when did you know to make the shift?
Ooh, that's a great question. So,
Hey, man, she good.
that's a great question. So, let's see. So, back to the story. Going to San Diego, meeting all these people that were selling an idea, right? I was in 2 different companies where I actually sold a tangible product, and it's the same stuff, right? I had good success doing that. I made money, that kind of thing, and I just got tired of being what's the word that I'm looking for? Being subject to whatever the other brand said I needed to do, right? I basically wanted to do my own thing. Okay. So that was number one. Number one was, I wanted to be able to say, hey, you know what? I really don't like this, or this is more me, or this is whatever. I want to do something where I'm the one in the driver's seat. And I never really had that experience where I was able to sell an idea per se, because I guess it was just a mind shift for me where, I didn't really have that experience. I never had that experience. And then once I had that experience, I was like, wait a minute. You mean I could do this for myself and then teach other people to do it? Well, who am I around? All these other people in these companies, and they're all struggling because they have no identity for themselves. They didn't know how to figure that piece out for themselves. And so that's kind of where this idea was born. And so that's kind of what made the shift for me after experiencing that. And then once I figured that piece out, I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get these rudimentary pieces in place. So Doc, if you would give me full screen, please. I will.
You ain't saying nothing but a thing.
Hey, all
Let me
right.
move this out the way. Oh wait.
No
now,
worries, no
unlock
worries.
the scene and go like that, and then Peking, and then go
All
like
right. So here are some of the things that I wanted to make sure that you knew that you needed to do, right? And it always led me back to this. It led me back to figuring out what this meant for myself. First of all, let's turn that off. Whoops. Okay, first, figuring out what my big picture was. My big picture of who I wanted to become, or what message I wanted to portray. I needed to figure out what that was. And, like I said, I've had many coaches, and each one of them, I am so forever grateful for each one of my coaches, because they were instrumental in helping me to think about all of these things, giving me a blueprint, like a way to say, okay, now that if you're not selling a tangible product, you're selling an idea, which this is an idea, now you need to make sure, just like a tangible product has, they have to go through R&D. They got to do all of the things to make sure that they have a good product, and then how it gets to market and all the other stuff. Well, my idea is exactly the same thing. Right? So I need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what that big picture looks like. I need to not only do that, but I need to also figure out what my mission is. What's the whole purpose, and what's the point of what it is that you're doing, right? And so if you're just like me, if you're at square one and you're trying to figure this out, yeah, you might need to go ahead and map some things out so that you can figure what you need to do from this point forward. And then once you figure out what your mission is, then you have to figure out, well, okay, well, now I know what that is. Now let's work on the brand. What is, you know, and it's more than just talking about you know, look, logos and stuff like that. Yes, you have to stay up on things and know like what's going on in your industry, but at the same time, you know, do that introspection. You know, figure out, you know, what it is that you have to offer that is different from everybody else. What makes you special? What makes you different? And what makes your brand superior to the next person. And then almost last but not least, figuring out what your culture looks like. So when I say culture, not talking about, you know, like ethnicity or anything like that. No, talking about, you know, what, you know, more on your values. It has to do like, with what your core value is. So say for instance, you know, if you're a news organization or whatever, are you more like hitting the facts all the time, or is it funny, or is it serious, is it professional? That's what I mean when I talk about like figuring out what those values are, what's intrinsically you. And then last but certainly not least, trying to figure out, whoops, let me go back to this, my bad. Here we go. Now, doing this right here, putting all of that together and figuring out what that means to you. So that, in a nutshell, is what I help people do. So I didn't tell you who I was in the very beginning because Doc and I know each other. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle Lawrence with LBC Branding. I help you stand out so that you can make your mark in the world. The way I do that is with my MARK method, which is mindset, authenticity, revenue, and knowledge. I do that via classes and social learning, just like this. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to make your mark. That's it. Drop mic. Walk away.
I'm just keeping it real.
Ooh, yes. And Mr. Albert, to your question, yes, they did. Actually, they did. When Beam got bought by Centauri back in 2018, they 100% did. There are minor adjustments, but they took out the 3D loft in it that was supposed to represent the wax seal and things like that. But there's many other more like that. Even Daniels has evolved. A lot of times what they do isn't a whole cloth change, but they'll change the packaging or the bottle shapes and stuff like that. So there was an entire reshaping of bottles and things like that during the Beam takeover from Centauri. And now IMG is actually going to grow the brand even bigger than that before. Yes. No, not specifically yours. Anybody. If you read that as specifically yours, you're not listening to the whole message. You are BCD. Go look it up on Doc's channel. Don't BCD. All right. You know what we do. That's our whole job, is to spike thinking. Thinking. Yes, even VNW. See, he got me messing up. First of all, Taekwondo, homie, what it do? He says that Volvo and VW both changed their logos in the past 24 months to go flat. You know what I'm saying? See, if you feeling called out, you got other things you need to work on before you start doing anything in the business realm, because businesses get called out on a daily basis. I'm gonna just start showing you guys my comments so that you can see what a call out looks like. But hey, they ain't paying my mortgage.
Ooh. Oh, wait, hold up. Was that shade?
Yeah, no, that was a whole mother freaking tree. Oh, come on. And make them rake the leaves after I smash them real quick. But no, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know how to explain this, but you are, okay, this is tough because this is difficult. You are your business, 100%.
Yes.
But your business ain't you. There's two different, I don't know how to separate that because it sounds crazy, but it is. Like, you are not what you do. You are you. right? You're definitely not what you do. But you are the face of your business. So your business can be made or broken by you. So if you can't handle a tough criticism about your business, that's because you're not handling a tough criticism about yourself, and it will affect your business performance. Maybe the reason why every one of us is still here on YouTube trying to become Jim Beam is because we are still defending the wrong shit.
Ooh, speak on that.
I ain't gonna lie. I am nowhere near where I want to be. Not even freaking close. This is just a start. I am nowhere near perfect. But I am not here to defend my shit no more. I defended it for 45 plus years and realized I was effing up. And then I had a come to Jesus moment and realized that I have to learn to evolve. And even when it's thrown out as hate, when someone is coming hot and nasty, I have to look at what they say for a brief moment. I don't give it too much value. But is there any truth in their statement at all? Or is this just vitriol?
Right.
If you can find there's 3 threads out of 1,000 thread Egyptian cotton of truth, take those 3 threads, put it in your work on it, pal. You could take the other 997 threads in this Egyptian cotton and throw that shit in the trash. But if someone telling you facts that the entire industry has proven, and you feel that as a call out, you got different issues you need to address before you even think about continuing in your business, because you're just going to spend a lot of money throwing stuff at a fire that won't, non-combustibles at a fire. Let's put it that way.
Okay, you heard it here first.
I'm just saying. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, Rich knows about my Bible, son. That is my Bible. It is pure biblical. That is my G. My brand, as you see it, comes from Draplin. Like, Draplin is my G. I'm just saying.
Well, you constantly keep learning about stuff, and so you know, it's a you know, and when I say make your mark, meaning mindset. Let's start there. Okay, so so you constantly have to keep growing. You constantly have to keep expanding. You know, and it all starts between the 6 inches, like these 6 inches between here. You know, and you know, a lot of times people are, you know, they will defeat themselves right here first. You know, as it relates to their business or different things like that. Yes, you know, you can do the you know, the marketing and all the things, whatever. But, you know, for the people that I speak to, are the newbies, the folks who are just coming into whatever business that they're doing. For those people, you know, who feel like they're a number in, you know, my consultant number in this one particular company is 93370, right? You're just a number, right? And so for those people, when I talk to them, it's like, okay, well, right, you might be consultant number 2,670,000, but you're different. You're different than all the other consultants that are doing exactly the same thing. Now you have to try to figure that out. First, working on your mindset, then working on how to figure out who you are and how you want to relate that to, you know, to your audience and to your client. So, you know, there's room out there for everyone, I think, personally. And I know that there are probably other people who can teach like different marketing classes and all those different things, but you have to figure out what it is about you that that you're bringing, you know, what is your secret sauce? What is your superpower? And I know who I am actually talking to. And that took a long time for me to figure that out.
Bruh,
if you don't know who you're talking to, you know.
That's the hardest one. Customer avatar. it's such a thing that's thrown around, and you guys know I try to take buzzwords and like shove them up an elephant butt because I think they're mostly full of crap, and they're used to be exclusionary to some extent, and it causes some like little clubs kind of like going down, right? But at the same token, there's some knowledge in that customer avatar, gang, right? I think we talked about it in class last week. Like, I have identified my customer avatar. Like, finally. It took me a minute. It took me 15 years of fucking around on YouTube.
Yep.
And now I got it. I got my customer avatar. Like, that's what I'm working on.
Right, but it took you a while to figure that out. Right? Same here. It took me a while to figure out who my avatar was and who I'm speaking to. I have a whole list. I know exactly what she looked like. I know what she do on Saturday. You know, I know what her skill sets are. And I know it's a her because I know I'm called to serve female entrepreneurs. So I know that. You know, I
got
know,
a tip
I
for
know,
the dudes though. Listening to what Michelle is saying, I got a tip for all the dudes out there. Find your female coach, even if it's a virtual one or a distant one or whatever, because nobody ever wants to admit this in the world of equality. They just think differently. And a lot of times ours comes from a level of machismo. No matter what you say, that's what a lot of people, some guys are good at putting out like level-ended stuff, but a lot of the coaches out there from the male perspective is out there doing this machismo thing, and a lot of females are coming out there from a nurturing thing, and that's not a whole cloth blanket ass statement. It kind of leaks out even when they're trying to hide it, right? For both sides, when we're trying to hide it, it still comes off as machismo. And then when you're not, you know what I mean? So just like I consider myself an ambivert, when you are doing your brand language and your brand learning and your coaching, you need to be ambisexual as well. And not from some like, oh, I'm not gay, whatever. Man, nobody talking to you. If you automatically went to that, get the hell off. Just hang up the stream right now. I ain't talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that I find some of my deepest nuggets coming from my female coaches or the people in my space. My mentor is Stephanie freaking Lee, player. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the butchiest dudes out here, and Stephanie's my mentor. Now, she is a high-level Muay Thai kickboxer. She'll bust that ass, but that's not the point. Most people don't know that about Stephanie. Stephanie will bust that ass. She can scrap. But it's the fact that you'll learn things that you don't realize from talking to the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a different perspective. You get a different perspective from it.
I mentioned this book in the past, but Karen Anderson has a dope TED Talk and a dope book about 12 Steps to Compassion. And one of the things she mentioned, if you wanted to be a really, really good Christian, you need to know about everything that the quote-unquote Satanists are into. Because people would talk smack about the other side, or what they think the other side is doing, but they don't really know. You know what I'm saying? In order to be a good Raiders fan, I have to be fully versed in Patriot. It was a fumble, anyway. Right? In order to be the Mac person that I am, I know how to use a PC. Inside out, upwards, backwards, and sideways. So I can call it when I call it. I have checked many of the Christian folks because I know the Bible too. I'm atheist in a mug, but I know the Bible. So you come and say something stupid, I will place you. I will place you right between your teeth. So don't come at me with something stupid because I will place you. If you really want to know your thing, you got to know both sides. So I think it's highly important. Like you said, your market is mostly females. I look at Jessica Stansbury, like she's one of the dopest, right? Her thing is all
I
female.
like her too.
Her stuff
I
is
like
all
her too.
female. But I follow Big Country, right? Because even though her stuff is all female, even my homegirl Liz, Liz is girly girl to the gate. But I follow Liz too because she'll bring out some facts.
Well, true. I mean, you can learn from anybody. You can learn from everyone.
Learn from your kids. If you shut up and listen, you will learn from your kids. Your kids will tell you things you need to know. Man, Miss Diana's stories of when she was a kid and she asked questions that would just piss off adults. That's a prime example of what you can learn from the mouth of babes.
Yes.
I hate to mention this jackass, but if you ever mention your boy's show when he used to talk to little kids and to say the darndest things, bro, we all learned wisdom from them youngins. So you got to not be cocky. You got to be ready to learn some stuff.
Oh my goodness. I'm so like, I'm like a sponge. And it's funny, the older I get, the more I realize, man, I don't know nothing. Because it's funny. It's funny how that works.
That is so true. Oh my God.
It's funny how that works. It's like, I don't know nothing. You know what? The whole time, it's a journey. It's a journey of figuring some mess out. And it's like, oh, wow, that opens up a whole nother can of something that is like, wow, I really don't know anything. And it's just, but it's a sweet one, though. It's a sweet journey.
Man, this is so crazy, but man, it's crazy. Yes, they're 100%, bro. 100%. That is just pure facts, man. You gotta, I don't know, man. It's hard. You gotta be willing to just like put it away and then listen. So that's why I posted yesterday about I am a full class, highly trained ambivert. Because so many people spend so much time talking about I'm being held back because I'm an introvert, or I'm like, I don't really have this because I'm an extrovert or whatever. And I'm like, cool. When you know that neither one of that work, then be an ambivert. Like, I tried to work the crap out of Gray. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing such a great job of it. I'm loving the set. I'm loving it.
You know what I'm saying? Not the color gray. I meant the space gray. But thank you. Like finding the middle and learning how to live in it, right? Yin and yang, man. Everything is balanced, fam. Like everything is balanced. And from a person with a compulsive or an addictive nature, you just learn real quick, or hopefully you learn real quick, how to sit in the middle, right? When you can learn to sit in the middle and be cool with it. Now, some things you got to take your stance. Your stance may be all the way over there, and that's cool. Go over there and park a flag and be like, bam, come at me, bro. But there's other things where you need to learn to be in the middle, even if it's nothing more than at least have a decent respect for the other side. Too many people are disrespecting the other side, and that's what's messing you up. Yo, what it do be? Good to see you here, fam. Good to see you here. Now, when we was marking, right, the mindset part is just gold. I don't think folks understand all the way like how good that is. Authenticity, man, we just got to have conversations about authenticity because that's a long one. I think we're going to have one day, we're just going to bust up the entire Zoom call and just do a whole stream with the whole folks, and we're going to go through some of these buzzwords, and we're going to punch each and every one of them in the dick one by one because they get on my nerves.
I was going to say in the face, but okay.
No, man, I told you, I'm coming for pain. I can't stand the word authenticity because most people who say it ain't it. Like most people don't understand it. Like if you're in pain and something's not working and you go to your audience and you talk to them, I'll call that authentic, right? If you're like, okay, I got to put on this face so that I can come out and show everybody that everything's good in my hood, and then bring it when I'm not in a good mood to the show. That's not necessarily authentic. It's okay, but you got to know which is which, right? So,
Right.
The revenue stuff you covered because you're doing your courses and all of the above, but let's close out on knowledge, because to me, this is my life, right? I have to just learn. I have got to sponge. So let's talk about knowledge. What are your knowledge keys?
Oh my goodness. So
What's up, Vicky?
Hey, how you doing? So my knowledge keys. Okay, so on this path of learning, that's where the knowledge comes from. If you didn't learn something, you're forced to go back and do whatever it is that you didn't learn, right? There was something there for you to grasp, figure out, and if you didn't figure out what it was, then you'll be forever on that path until you do figure it out. So that's where my biggest thing with knowledge, with people doing this for themselves, is to try to figure out all the little things. Like, say for instance, I'm not a graphic designer. I don't have a marketing degree. This is not something that I can say, oh yeah, I have this degree, No, this is me figuring out, being in sales for 20 years, trying to figure out how to do something a little bit differently, and to, to be able to connect to the people that I want to be with. And so the little nuggets that I picked up along the way on how to do that, on how to figure out what my day would look like if I didn't have a 9-to-5 job and I wasn't out here fighting COVID, right? What would that look like? What does it look like to try to create something from scratch and then work out all the details so that you'll know how to package it up and then give it back to the world? What does it look like to create, to be creative? Basically, it's being creative on all the different aspects of all the things. So for me, figuring out how to become a graphic designer, right? When you're not one, figuring out how to become someone who knows how to, like, let's say for instance, you want to be a YouTuber and you want to figure out how to do YouTube. Well, there's figuring out how to do scheduling, figuring out how to edit, figuring out how to, how to look at the camera and talk, and, not be over here looking at someone over there, all the little details, all the little knowledge nuggets that you have to learn along the way to figure out what it is that you want to do. Right. So that is where, I would, I'll start talking about those small things, how to figure out, how to use project management tools to kind of help you put all of your ideas on paper and figuring out which one to do first, the little things that no one ever really tells you about. So I don't know. I just really, I can only speak for my experience, because that's the only experience that I have. And, I think I've learned quite a bit in these 52 years that I've been around, and the 20-something years in business that I've been around. Learning all these different things and figuring out what works for me. It may not work for everyone, but hey, this works for me, and I'd love to share that knowledge with you. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that.
Gangster, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, knowledge nuggets, right?
Knowledge nuggets. New hashtag knowledge nuggets.
All right, gang. So here's something that you guys got to all take to the vest. First of all, as you know, Michelle, she just be knowing things. Number 2 is that David is stupid. He said 52. You don't look at day over 51. David, she was slapping you. Are you high?
Wait. Come here, David. Come here. Real close. You see that sweat on my face? Hold up. Bam!
So this, I want to point some stuff out to people because this is my life. Like, I love words, and it's why I want to take back words from people that had took it from us or told us it meant stupid stuff in order to keep us in a position that they can control. To see something, the word know is CNAW, nah, back in the day in the old English vernacular, and it basically meant to see something. Okay? Ledge is the Scandinavian pronunciation of lock. Right? So
Dropping the bomb now, y'all.
when you see something and you absorb it and you let that cognate and then you lock it into your brain. If you see lock, not to be confused with sea lock, Hooper City, when you see lock it in, that is no lock. Knowledge is to see something and lock that joint in. When you know that, then you know that, right? Now you can work from a place of understanding what knowledge is about. When you see stuff and brush it off because you're not fully paying attention, or when you see stuff and choose to ignore it because you are stuck in self, when you are stuck in being selfish, you're not absorbing someone else's pain, someone else's journey, someone else's feelings, their attention, or whatever, then that's why you stuck. Right? The best knowledge is to look across the other person's face and absorb the energy that they're bringing and help them. Even when they're not specifically crying for help, some folks is crying for help. Right? So here's what I know factually. I am on a mission to get Michelle out of the mother hospital. Like, as a friend, as a coach, as another person, my goal in life on Saturdays is to get Michelle out of the hospital, because her highest and best use is, it is a knowledgeable, not a knowledgeable, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Honorable. It's an honorable position. I was there, right? I was in the, what is it called, the CPN, certified nurse practitioner, CNP. What the heck is the right word?
You can do that. Nurse practitioner, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, NP, whatever. I don't know what the
NP.
proper terminologies is. I wasn't one of them, right? I was just a low life paramedic. But when I got out of it, at first I thought like, oh man, I'm leaving all these lives behind that I can save, but when you're a paramedic, you're catching people at the end. You're catching people that either accidentally did something stupid or done something on purpose to try to get rid of their life, and you just bringing them back for no good. Maybe they didn't want to be back, so the family is making you bring them back when they just specifically tried to cut it out. So like, I thought about that, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I want to go have a higher and better use of my time. I think your highest and best use might not be inside somebody's general. You know what I mean? Your highest and best use might be helping other folks like us step up and get into their business game and grow further and actually affect more people. Right now, the amount of folks that you can affect are within the community of, whatever the hospital system is. Mm-hmm. Right? And then so, like, yeah, it's just no, not CNA. She's a practitioner. She's like she's up there, one of the highest levels of nursing possible.
Yeah.
I was a CNA when I got out of paramedics at first because I needed to pay rent. But yeah, you definitely. It's my personal goal, right? We said our personal goals is to get the Press and Sew to like just shut down these fake T-shirt printing joints on YouTube, and then like be the content creators, factory of choice. And then my next goal is to help Michelle she gonna step in the hospital and look at y'all and be like, see you when I see you. I'm outie, right?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes.
Oh my
That's what I'm
God.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? It's pretty much up there in the game. Now, the reason why I bring this up, because I get nothing but excuses 24/7. I have become fruit ninja in the month with these excuses. I ain't got time because, I got this and I got that and blah, blah, blah. And I swear to you, every time I just want to go, Michelle has a high-level position in the hospital, work her face off, come home, and then do this. So everyone going to ask the question that I hate, but it'll be irresponsible for me not to ask the question, even though I hate it. How?
Well, I'm working on that. This is my work-life balance. I'm working on that. Okay, so how? How? Because I'm passionate about it. This is what I want to do, right? It's funny. It's so funny we're having this conversation. This very week, I had my evaluation from my from my boss this week.
When you sit there, do you look at him like this? Say something stupid. I will. Because that's what I did at evaluations. I'm like, man, if you say something stupid, I will.
No,
Anyway,
no,
sorry.
but for the first time, and I've worked with some really great people. I work with really great people, and the work that we're doing, it's for our community, and it's a real fight out there, y'all. I mean, seriously, I need y'all. And I know everybody's different, and some folks might be one way, and as far as this COVID thing goes, because as it is right now, my practice is now becoming sort of like urgent care overflow, which makes no sense when all y'all got to do is just science. But I'll get off my soapbox.
In Georgia, nonetheless, too. So you must be hating life right now.
Seriously. Okay. So, and we're sitting here going, we're like lambs to the slaughter. Just, and we're like, we know it's going to happen. All right. Well, 5, 4, 3. Okay. Let's get all the stuff ready because we know it's going to happen. But anyway, I digress. But I had my evaluation this week, and, I work with a really great group of people. And we're all about doing things for our community and making sure that, we're worried about the health of our community and just educating the community on things to do to make sure that they stay well. And in my evaluation, my boss asked me that question, that all your bosses would ask, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Right? or for 5 or 10 years. And it's funny. I'm working on a video right now. This is going to drop today. If you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and like LBC Branding. But anyway, it's something that you got to do. It's something that you got to do. Think about what you want to do, how you want to affect the people that are around you in the next 5 years. And you know what? I feel like it would be best done doing exactly what we're doing here. Talking to people, working through your stuff, working through whatever it is, whatever is blocking that mindset to say, hey, you know what? You could do this. You could do this. We can find a better way to do this. Now, it's not saying that I don't love my fellow, fellow compadres that are working in the hospitals and doing the work and doing all the things. Yes, I absolutely love that. And I've dedicated over 20 years of my life, almost 22 years of my life, doing just that. Now I'm ready for the next step. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to make your mark.
The 23rd step, fam. Like sometimes it's just time to make a, Man, oh Savage. I'm telling you, fam, like, it's big. I got to go back to this that Align stated because it is just dope. Excuses are monuments of nothingness. They build bridges to nowhere. And those of us who use tools of inconfidence seldom become anything but nothing at all. Come on, fam.
Yeah.
This,
Oh, my
like,
goodness.
yo,
Yes.
Align, that might end up on my Instagram wall. Because I can't stand the military. Miles would tell you in the military, we say the maximum effective range of an excuse is 0.0 feet. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. You know why, straight up family, you know why I have such a burning desire to kill excuses? Because I used to make lots of them. Didn't realize it again. I'm telling you, man, age is messed up, bro. Like, age is wasted on, and wisdom is wasted on the youth, or age is wasted on the youth, or whatever the heck that Rob says. Because, man, I was like, man, why you tell me all of this cool shit when I'm 50?
Right? It's like the more we become, the more it's like, man, we don't know jack. There's so much to learn.
God.
There's so much to learn.
Man, this is super dope. Oh, I got one last question that came from, where my man at? Where you going? He said, forget the how. Why? Why you still
Very that. Yes. Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Why is that? You start with that question first.
Always.
If you start with your why.
Start with why.
If you start with your why, oh yeah, you can figure out the how. That's no problem. But you got to start with the why.
I know in my head, you could almost roll up in there and give them your 365-day notice. Like, this time next year, you won't be looking for scrubs. Not like TLC.
Man, shoot. Hey, yes.
Because you already put it in work. Like, you're mad consistent. Your short game is on point. You are what we in the YouTube industry call well undersubscribed. Okay? But you definitely have the hardest hurdle. Let's just be factual about it. Mm-hmm. Middle-aged black women is not on the top of the list for YouTube thing. Young, skinny, Caucasoids that let the breastises out are really highly valuable on YouTube, is what it is. But that doesn't mean, again, just because the message isn't worth sending, just because the message may not be reheard, that doesn't mean it's not worth sending. I try to say that in English again. But the point is, you're well undersubscribed. I think what's going to happen is, as more and more people start to make these shifts and jumps, the amount of folks that are changing careers right now as we speak, the amount of people that are looking for a way out, changing their careers, trying to do something different, this is your year. It's coming, right? And then, like Brian said, in 5 years, I'll be starting down and retiring from my math teaching career. I will continue to be a lifelong learner and teacher, because that's who I am. Thank you, fam. And you're a dope teacher to be on the real about it, because even if it's doing nothing but teaching, how to keep the face force legit, I appreciate that, right? And so, like Louis said, when student is ready, the master will appear. I definitely think that this is your year. I'm not talking out the side of my ass or trying to be crooked or whatever. Sorry, God damn it, Todd. Todd, you cannot do that to me. Dang it. Everybody here knows I have horrible musical Tourette's. Oh my God. Todd just came through with the heater. Oh my God.
How you like that?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you now, before class, I would be going upstairs, I'm gonna be bumping that track in my head. Damn, Todd, that's funny. Sorry. Anyway, in the middle of me giving Michelle her praises, Todd Killian, damn it, I think this is your year, Mish. I don't know why. I don't know how. I got a feeling for the flavor of these Pringles. This is it. This is it. So, I'm going to leave you with, I know, right? I know. Come on. I'm going to leave you.
It's all good, though.
Man, my family is just crazy today. Coffee talk, that's hilarious because I'm with you, bro. I got the wrong kind of 54-inch chest. Mine 56 because I'm fat. But hey, all right, yes, okay. The Miles is telling you now, set that goal, right? I'm telling you, set that goal. Here's what I think it is. Here's what I think it is. All right, gang. Everybody should just get this. Everybody got to go get what I'm gonna call a grandmother calendar, right? Because my grandma always had, and Karen's mom, she loves calendars, right? So I'm talking about the one about Yo Big with the gigantic like 1-inch boxes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Some folks got it on the desk. Someone got the picture. It's like on the kitchen wall. You know, it's from the insurance company, whatever. Everybody got one of them. You need a real one. What, 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, or larger, like 1-inch blocks calendar. Okay. I think you should get a wall one, right?
Okay.
And
It'll fit right
somewhere out of the shot. Nobody got to see it but you. Back of the door would be good. Anywhere that you can see it, right? But I'm talking about big boxes, right?
Gotcha.
What you going to do is every day that you do something swagger, Jack, that moves the needle towards getting you the frick out of the hospital, you're going to run over there and you're going to use a bright color, Sharpie or something. This is gold, bronze,
Got it.
whatever. And you're going to X that joint, right? And then
Okay.
do
Got the
some,
Sharpies.
oh my God, this, no,
What? Okay.
hey, she pull out Shake Sharpie fan, Sharpie gang, let's go. Sorry, I'm Sharpie gang, right? So you're going to make a gigantic X out of that date. Not like a little scratch, not like a little highlight mark, like a gigantic X, and then something like a mark or something that just brings a joy to your face, right? For me, I'll be drawing like little the finger every time I just gave the world the finger, right? So you want to, every day you do something to move that needle forward, regardless of what it is, you put it in there, right?
Got it.
You have a visual of this month. These are the many days where I have stuck a leopard print stiletto square up the ass of this goal.
Yes. Speak.
What
speak,
happens?
Speak.
A day will come by, son, I'm going to kill this little moon, right? Husband, like girlfriend decided to dump all her BS on your life or whatever, and you're going to go there and you're like, man, I can't check shit today. All right, that's okay. Feel like a pimp, go and dust your shoulder off. The next day, you start again, and you put the little boxes. One of these times, you will get like a 10-day streak. And then Aubrey gonna call you up and be like, Michelle, hey girl, I got the golf cart. Let's go get faded. And you be like, Obbs, you know you my G. I love you. But you keep your little golf cart over there. I'm working. And she be like, come on, girl, I got a fresh ball of Jack. Let's go. And you can be like, no, Aubrey, stay your ass in your golf cart in Peachtree City. Don't bring your ass over here. And she goes, like, all right, then, I'm going to just play guitar. And then so you get to keep the streak going. Because what happened, when you got like 20 of them checks and somebody try to bring their sauce to come and mess up your pizza, you'll be like, oi, talk to the head. Let's be clear. Like you will close it down. You will not want to let anybody stop you from checking those boxes.
Right.
It's a visual thing to let you. So Aubrey's like, hey, don't come for me. I love you, Aubs. You know what I'm saying, baby girl. Like, Aubrey do live in Peachtree City, Align. I'm not clowning. I'm telling the truth. And she got the golf cart. I'm not clowning. Aubrey's legit. She's legit, right? So when you check enough of these boxes, you will not want anybody to fade your shit. You just won't let it. Every time somebody, you be like, "Ooh, get out of here." And as we say back in the hood, miss me with that bullshit.
Come see me with them hands. No, I was kidding.
Right. You know what I'm saying? As Mrs. D say, run up, get done up. Like you would definitely not allow anyone, not even your son or your husband, be like, hey, this is my studio day. Step off.
Right.
And they be like, nah, let's go get a pizza, family time, whatever. She goes, family time. I'm still a mama. You cannot kick me out the family. But today is studio day. Take your little ass over there and read a book. Take your ass over there and do some homework. I'm in the studio. I love you guys. Peace out. I'll order you a pizza. Do not bother me.
Yes.
It will just happen. It will just
100%.
happen. So that is a strategy that everyone can take for today. If you can't find one right now because it's the middle of the year, there's a couple of places, the plumbing company or somebody nearby you still got a stack from January they ain't got rid of yet. So go.
Oh,
and
they're
get,
on sale now. They're
Always.
on sale because school
Always.
is getting ready to start. I am a
Boom.
planner junkie. When you see how many planners and calendars I got up in here, it's ridiculous.
And if you like, oh, well, I don't got money for this kind of, print some off the internet. Print it out. Oh,
Do it for
can't
free
print?
99.
Okay, get yourself a ruler and a pencil and draw 31 boxes on a piece of paper. I don't give up how you do it. But you got to check that box every day you do something. And the days you don't, you do not beat yourself up. You just, all right, Jay-Z, I'm going to just go ahead and get back up. You know, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Yep.
I just hit you with some Dodoma action right there. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Oh my God. Yes, yes. I definitely receive what you're saying, Sensei.
Yes, Sylvia, you can make a journal for that. But the reason why I think the 1-inch box strategy works is because it's visible AF.
Yeah.
Because when you see, so the problem with closed joints, you got to leaf through them. So you don't feel your streak. You don't necessarily know your streak, right? When I go in, this is going to sound super stupid, but let me go ahead because I actually broke a streak yesterday. I think, let me double check. Let me go into my little app over here and go to my little history and then go to my month. Oh, yeah, okay. So this will work. This will make sense. So I go to my little month over here and I see that one day where I missed drinking my water, that little bitty water right there.
Oh, that's
And then
so
wake up the next
dope.
day with a headache than a mother and then mad at the world. And I realized that at my age, I can't be short taking my water. So everywhere there's one of them little lines is when I ain't hit my streak. And then that pisses me off.
Love it.
That's why ring closing and all of that crap be like it is. There's a name for it. A something device. I don't know why my brain just went dumb. But yeah, there's psychology behind all of this. And it's the reason why Fitbit works. My old trick for breaking habits was to wear rubber bands. And every time I wanted to say some negative self-talk,
Pop it.
pop. And I don't mean like, no, you got to pull that shit back the next week and pow. Ah! It's got to hurt, you know. But that's, you know, BJ Fogg. Let's get it twisted.
I love it. It's funny because, you know.
See where I be now, Valley?
It's funny, in getting my set ready today, I had like a little weekly calendar thingy that it's a dry erase board that I have in that little spot right there. And I took it off because, you know, I wanted to be able to, like, you know, just in case I wanted to use my ZV-1 today, or if I wanted to use that camera over there or this camera over here, I can flip all the things. And I didn't want y'all to see my messy board. But you know what? It's sitting on the floor right over there. So you know what? I'll bring it to class today.
There you go.
I'm gonna feel it.
I'm telling you, fam, like the visual cues for yourself, because you know what the most painful in the world? Breaking the promise to yourself.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Everybody want to blame somebody else. Oh, my person didn't treat me right. My person did this. My person did that. No, you don't even care. You broke a promise to yourself. Because you told yourself you wasn't going to let yourself put up with an emotionally ambivalent relationship. And then you got yourself in emotional ambivalence with friends, with family, with that other person on the other side of the house or whatever. And you gave yourself excuses as to why you dealing with it. And you don't need to be like that. You ain't got no time.
You know how many of these I fill in all this stuff, man. Oh man, we got to talk about, like, stop breaking promises to yourself. We got to talk about that.
Right, it's a thing, gang. All right, fam, we got to get ready for class. This is a good one. Dang, this is crazy. I like this. No, we'll never write you done me wrong song. That's funny. my girl, lady girl going through. Another somebody done somebody wrong song. Make you feel at
Love you,
home.
Lainey.
Lady came through it. She got like she with Jerry. Lady and Jerry got some shit to say once a week, but when they say it, it's like pop. Oh my eye. Like she came through. She came through. It's like she got quick Sonic with it too. Hit you with the guitar. All right, gang. For real though, we got class coming up, and hey, let's get it, man. I'm feeling it today. You guys caught me. It's a rainy night in Georgia, bro. I'm feeling it today is one of these days. So if you thought today I'm gonna skip class, you better call somebody and tell them, nah, man, I ain't coming, cause we about to dive all the way in. So everybody, you got time to go get yourself a beverage, a coffee. Some of y'all is late. You can get a whiskey. Paul, you can shave your legs. I don't know. You guys get ready because class is about to be good. It's okay, man. Lainey, you and Sylvia and Andrew is always coming from the car. So we cool with it. We cool with it. Gang, if you guys are unfamiliar, you need to get familiar. Let me show you. This is the Drop Squad. We get down. We have a blast. We also have to wonder why Doc overlay looking whack. Anyway, make sure you guys come through. It's going to be incredible. Val, bring yourself to class today. You must. It is what it is. We got you. Lainey done covered you for like 5 weeks. So just bring your body, bring your notepad. We see y'all in class. Let's get it done. No, I am in Honolulu, Hawaii. I did live there when I was stationed at the Ranger Battalion at Fort Stewart. But no, I am here. I am here. I would say in sunny Honolulu, but it's raining. It's raining like a bug. Me and Jim about to get hurricane this weekend. There's a storm, a brew. So we got to hurry up and get class done today. Because, if the power goes out in the middle of class, that's the tropical storm. Linda, I think that her name is. She trying to come in there and cause some heat. So that's what it is. But yeah, if you guys want to come to class, come to class. I'm going to play a little promo to remind you guys what's coming up. But in the meantime, don't forget, we are going to get twisted come Tuesday. Because the fantastic Stephanie Liu, my mentor in chief, is coming through. And we're going to talk about some AI content creationing.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be in
good.
the bathroom watching.
Good. I'm telling you, we about to get good. So, man, Michelle, tell folks how they can find on you.
Oh, how can you find me? Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you, you can find me here in all the places at LBC Branding, okay? You can find me on the Book of Faces. You can find me on the YouTubes, okay? And you can find me on the Instas. I'm everywhere at LBC Branding. I'm so excited to get to know you and for you to get to know me. So, what are you waiting for, boo? It's time for you to make your mark. Let's do this.
Ah! Here we go, gang.
Are you ready to take your content to the next level? The live streaming market is booming, but with so many options out there, it's hard to know where to start. You've heard about doing live video and other video content on platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook, but you're not sure how to make the most of this or how this is going to help you with your business. You're not sure if creating a YouTube channel is going to help you get more customers or it's just a waste of your time. We will walk you through everything you need to succeed in live video with this 4-day immersive virtual bootcamp. We've got all bases covered, from choosing the right platform for your needs, planning an event, recording epic video content and editing it into something awesome, scheduling posts on social media, promoting your videos, and monetizing them effectively. This course is designed for everyone from total beginners who are just getting started in live streaming to those who want to grow their visibility and increase business by creating more valuable content. Leap into live streaming virtual bootcamp.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets